Today, I am bringing the cozy charm of Cottagecore into fall with 5 beautiful budget-friendly DIYs filled with vintage details, natural textures, and warm autumn color. Hi, I'm Loli. Let's create something beautiful and find a little joy along the way. You are not going to believe what I'm going to make with this. I got it for $1.30. It was 90% off at the Hobby Lobby. And I took some of this rustic and white chalk paint. I only had a little bit of paint left over. So I took some of this brown oxide from apple barrel and I just mixed it in with it. I continue to add some of this brown paint into this one until I got to the consistency and to the shade of light tan that I was going for. Then we're going to begin painting this. I'm going to paint the entire pumpkin with this color, well, minus the peduncle. My friend, if you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to hit the like button. And while you're there, let me know in the comment section, where are you watching from? I'd love to know how far my views are reaching. And share, because sharing is caring and it helps my channel grow. Thank you so much. Once the pumpkin was fully painted, we are going to take some of this white paint from the Dollar Tree and add it to the same brush we used to paint the pumpkin. And we're going to apply it to all of the creases right here. This is just so we can add some dimension to this. And having the same paintbrush help us blend the colors together towards the edges of the creases. And I did that all the way around until you can see a nice definition there. I wanted the creases to be even more defined, so I came in and added just one little line of white in the middle to make sure that it was more prominent on those indentations. Using the same brush, I took some of this brown oxide from apple barrel, and I'm going to use it to paint the peduncle. I'm just going to add a little bit onto my table there and carefully just add it to the very top here, and then start it from the bottom, working my way up, making sure that I have little brush strokes in the base of the peduncle so this looks quite natural. I ended up giving it about 2 coats, and I used the same brush that I used for the rest of the pumpkin, just so I had some of that muted tone as well. And this is what it looked like. It dried a little bit too light for me, but we're going to fix it later. For now, we're going to take 2 of these picks. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They were originally $4.99 a piece. I got them during the fall clearance at 90% off, so I ended up paying only 49 cents for these. And I'm going to add one here to this side and then add the other one to the other side of the pumpkin. And we would have been done here. But at this point, I said, you know what? I'm not liking how this pumpkin is looking so starky against those other pumpkins. So I decided to come back in and add some more of the brown to the mixture that I used originally to do it. Because even though the paint looked darker, once it dried clearer or lighter, I should say, than I wanted. So here I am adding a darker tone to all the raised areas of the pumpkin. And here I took just straight up brown oxide. First, I mixed it a little bit just to test the waters. I just wanted to have some streaks of the brown. It wasn't quite as much as I wanted, so I came in with straight up brown oxide here with my brush. And if you notice, the brush is still wet with the other paint, so I'm able to kind of blend it in, but you can see a little bit more of that brown tones there, giving this a lot more dimension. This is what it looked like. And then I thought, you know what, let's put a little bit of sparkle on those white indentations, just so they tie up better with the picks that we are going to use them with. So I took this pearly white paint, or iridescent white paint, and I'm going to add a strip on all those indentations right here, just to bring in that shine and tie it together with the other pumpkins. And I thought this was the perfect thing. And that is it for this one. Look at it, how it looks after those changes. Let me know what you think. This one is so simple yet so cute. You're going to take this picture frame that we found from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has gotten so much better with their frames. Look how good those hooks are. We're going to just go ahead and remove the backing off of this, removing the paper. For some reason, I removed the glass too. Oh, yeah, remove the glass because we are going to distress this. To distress it, I'm going to use a wet wipe and some of this black rub and buff. And I'm just going to just run it in different sections here and there, just creating some tarnish areas in the frame. I did that until I was happy with it, just distressing in many areas, just not too heavy, but just enough to give this piece some character. And I really love the color that it has. This gold is not a super, it's kind of like antique gold, so it was perfect. If you have an old picture frame that is this size, you can just go ahead and use that and don't have to do this whole process. Or you can keep it as is if you don't want to distress. The options are endless. All right, once I was done, I took this new set of art pieces that came from the Dollar Tree, and it is so cool. Look at this beautiful print. This reminded me of lavender that is dried, so I thought it was the perfect print for this frame. So, and it is also at 8 by 10, which is the perfect size for this frame as well. So we are going to take our mat there, and I thought I was going to frame it, but I didn't like how it cut off most of the flower and also the wording in the bottom. So I decided to go without that insert, but I did forget to put the glass. We will be repositioning the glass on the frame and then positioning the print inside of it and repositioning our back into our frame. My friend, if you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to hit that like button, and while you're there, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified each time I upload a new video. All these things are free and they mean the world to me. Thank you so much. And with that, this project is complete. Please let me know in the comment section what you think. Will you believe that this came from the dollar store? Friend, we are back with another DIY inspiration collaboration. This is hosted on the 8th of each month by my good friend Katie from Lady Red Crafting, myself, Loli from Lady's Creations, and this month we have the privilege of having the talented and joyful designs. This month is all about fall cottagecore decor. That was a mouthful. The links to our channels, the playlist will be linked in the description box below. Be sure to head on over and show everyone some love. I found this lantern at Dollar Tree for $1 in the clearance bin. It just had a couple of dents, but this is perfect for this project. We are doing cottagecore, and it's all about pieces that have some history, character, and charm. I'm just going to clean it nicely, and then I'm going to take some of this black rub and buff, and using the wipe that I used to clean the lantern with, I just added a little bit to it, and I just wiped it in some areas in which you will see some wear and tear in an older piece. I just run it in the corners as you see there and trying to do it as intentional as possible. And I found that this was the best way that I could distress this to make it look like I intend. A nice piece that's been seen, some history and some wear and tear. I did the distressing in all four sides, and also I did some right here in the openings as well. Once I was satisfied with the way that I was looking, I took one of these pillar candles from the Dollar Tree. This is one of the thicker ones. And let me tell you, please use one of the taller ones instead that are skinnier. I did not realize it, but you'll see here in a moment. So what I did to the candle here, I just took some of these rubber transfers that I got from Dollar Tree some years back, and I'm going to use this one right here that says fall. I'm just going to cut off the ones that I'm going to use here just so I'm able to have more control over the rub and transfer. I made sure that it was centered the way that I wanted and it was straight. And we're just going to begin to rub this. Usually I will use a popsicle stick or a scraper. I couldn't find one, so the closest thing that I could find was my noodle knife. So I started with that. It wasn't really working that well, so I moved on to my nail. I just continued to rub and rub. Then I came in with this piece of wire from a pick that I had used, and I just kept rubbing it on and removing the film as I'm going. And I found that that was the easiest way to truly have this rub and transfer stay down. I was kind of nervous about whether or not this will work because these candles have a film, candle wax on the edges or in the outside of it. So I wasn't sure if it was going to stick, but it did. Just keep on with it, be patient. Go ahead and rub it off. When you rub off, you'll see that the film will become a little cloudy. That tells you that it's been removed from the film and is onto the candle, and I just continue to do that. And if there's any places where the flowers or any other rub and transfer is left, then you just put it right back down and rub it again, and you can finally get it nicely done like this. Then I took this little piece of flower right here, this other flower that I had cut off, and I'm going to place it right here in the corner. And I pretty much did the same thing, just rubbed it using my piece of wire there and then removed it. And then I did the same thing with this other leaf right here. Now, I'm like, yay, I'm done. It didn't fit. The candle was I was determined to let it fit, but I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to fit. So I took this, I'm like, why? I took this other candle that I got during Easter time, and I'm going to flip it over and use the other side. And I did the same thing with the rub and transfer, and this one fit. But you know what? It's a blessing in disguise because all I have to do is turn it around when Easter comes, right? Anyway, then I took some of these leaves that I got from Dollar Tree and just wanted to place two of them in the back of the candle here, kind of going to camouflage that cross in the back for now for this time. And if you like, you can always remove it and have the cross visible on the other side. It is quite good to have Jesus around at all times anyway, right? That is it for this one. Let me know what you think. This project turned out amazing. We're going to start with two of these rocks from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use this one with a print and this one without a print. They were the only two that I could find that actually match together. If you get these before you pick up two, make sure that they match perfectly because it seems like they all have a different size. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the tag off of both of them. And then we are going to put these together. As you see there with the printed side, there was the outside and their butts matching together. Here I'm making sure that it's all lining up properly. And we are going to do the same thing on the other side in all sides. Make sure that all corners light up perfectly. Now we're going to take a little bit of hot glue and I'm going to start by just adding it right here to the corner. I am adding enough glue that it will soak through the fabric, but not so much as going to seep through the front. And be very careful here because if it does seep through the front, you might burn yourself. And I just kept going like this in small portions until I did these three sides, leaving the shorter side and the side here empty. And everything lined up perfectly in both sides. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to take one of these doilies that I got from the Dollar General. It comes two in a pack for $1. I'll be using just one for this project. I'm going to remove the tag off of it and we are going to place it in the middle of our unprinted side. Just making sure that it's in the middle here. We're going to stretch it out. I want the little fluffy part to be in the middle of the pumpkin or in the sort of kind of in the middle of the pumpkin, just so it has a little bit of a raised effect. And once I'm happy with it, I'm going to just add a little bit of hot glue here in the very top of the peduncle. And once that dries, I'm going to slowly start lifting my doily and adding some hot glue all along the edges, just a bit. That's able to glue it together but not so much as going to seep through the holes of the doily. And I'm using my little silicone spatula there to avoid burning my little fingers. And I just continue to do this until the entire pumpkin was adhered to the front of this rock. Next, I just opened up my unsealed corner, took some of this polyfill I got from Dollar Tree, and we are going to completely stuff it. First, I thought I could just put the whole bag in there, guys. I don't know. But no, we need to take it out of the bag and we're going to go ahead and add it in because we want to make sure that we are adding the polyfill to all the little corners and we want to make sure that everything is distributed properly and we have no lumps. So just get your hands in there, get everything into your corners and fill it out nice and even as much as you can. And once everything was nice and filled, we're just making sure that all of the polyfill is inside and we have enough space to close our pillow. To help me do that, I'm going to enroll the help of some of these Dollar Tree clamps. I kept pushing in the polyfill and then putting the clamps on, making sure that my seam was joining perfectly as I'm going along. This is going to help me later on with gluing this without having the pillow open up and me fighting with it to try to have it line up properly. So I'm going to clamp it all here, adding them in intervals about 1.5 inches or so. And then I'm going to come in with my hot glue. I'm going to start with this corner here, making sure that it matches properly. I'm going to make sure that the fabric touches each other, and I'm going to press it and hold it in place there until it dries. Then I'm going to shift my clamp over to on top of where the glue ended. And then I'm going to start in the next portion right here between the two clamps. And I'm just going to continue to do this until I seal the entire side. And look how cute that is. Let me know what you think about this project. This one is so cute, so simple at the same time. We're gonna take one of these baskets I got from a local thrift shop. Nothing is gonna get done to it. It was beautiful the way it is. And I'm taking a different types of flowers and foliage for fall that I got from the Dollar Tree and just removing the tags off of them and position them in different places. I'm trying to have the look of, when you go out for a stroll on a fall day and you pick up some foliage and bring home. That is the look that I'm going for with this basket. So I just took the different flowers, positioned them with the stems as you see there, and I'm adding some of these boxwood. I got these. I think I got every single one of these flowers from Dollar Tree. And I'm just trying to space them out that they look beautiful, but at the same time, they look like, they were just thrown in there kind of thing, natural. And then I'm using some of these cattails as well, removing the tags from them as well, repositioning them in place. And I did not like how the stems looked. And I'm sure you're probably like, oh my gosh, I don't like that. But you know what? I'm not done yet. Once I position my flowers right there, as you see, I'm going to come in with this little pick from the Dollar Tree. It just brought in that beautiful orange color in there. It also brought a different kind of foliage with the greenery and also a beautiful little pumpkin. We're going to position it right here in the middle. And to fill in the gaps, you're gonna come in with these pumpkins that we got from Dollar Tree as well. I was gonna use that fabric one. I decided not to. Instead, I'm gonna use these two. And I'm cutting the tag off instead of pulling it because these are made out of foam. And if you pull, you might be damaging the pumpkin. So we're gonna carefully cut them as close as possible to the pumpkin and position them right in there. Look how cute that's looking. You cannot see the stems, right? But I felt like it was missing a little cozy, feel there. So I came in with this doily that I had left over from a different project. And I'm going to just use it as a rag. And doilies and the texture, the fabric is perfect for cottagecore. So I just went to position it as a rag right there draped in. And that is it for this one. So beautiful, so easy to make. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's episode, here are a couple more videos you are sure to enjoy. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're amazing. Bye.